everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm with the next question of top 150 interview questions of LeetCode. So let's get started with today's question. It's H index. So we are given an array of integer citations where citations of I is the number of citations a researcher received for their ith paper. So we have to return the H index of researchers H index amongst these citations. So what do you mean by citations? Citations is basically the number of references that a person took from someone's research paper. So suppose if in this case I am given 3, so it means that 3 people took reference from this research paper X, right? And now let's find out the H index of these amongst these citations. So let's get started. So what is the definition of H index? It is defined as the maximum value of H such that given researcher has published at least H papers that have been cited at least H times. So it means we have to find the maximum index. We have to find the maximum index such that those many such that index value is greater than or equal to the number of research papers that have been referred, that have been cited. So it means that my H of I should be greater than or equal to the index. That's what we have to find. So a super duper simple solution to it is that we are already given. So let's discuss the H index of this citations that we are given in this nums. So what would be the H index? The H index would be 3. Because why H index is 3? Because we have to find out, because there are 3 research papers in it that have been at least referred 3 times, including this one, and this one. So these are the 3 research papers that have been cited at least thrice. So this is the H index. So the H index of this citation of these many research papers is 3. So what are the number of research papers? That is equal to 5. So 5 research papers have been published, and amongst those the H index of those 5 papers is 3, because there are at least 3 papers that have been published, that have been cited thrice, right? So let's get started. So what I have already mentioned the conclusion of this question also, what we have to do. So the program iterates through each citation count. So what is the citation count at this point? It's 3, and 3 is being referred only once. Okay, that have counting how many papers have citations greater than or equal to their index. Counting how many papers have citation greater than or equal to their index. It returns the maximum index where condition holds true, that is H of I greater than I, which corresponds to researcher's H index, and if it's not found we have to simply return 0. Okay, so since I know that I have to find out the minimum research papers that have been referred at least their index times, so I have to find out the minimum number of, so I have to find out the index where my H of I, the H index is greater than or equal to I. So what I will initially do, I will initially store all of the frequencies of the research papers in some variable count, in some array count, which is from 0 to n. Okay, I'll store all these values, and suppose I get a value of paper which is greater than my nth index, right? So I will simply take the minimum amongst those. So I will take index where I will store the frequency of that paper. So that index is basically minimum of nums of I comma n. So I will store the frequency. So I'll update the frequency of that paper in this V of index. Okay, that's what I have to do at first step. So I have to fill my frequency array where I will store all the frequencies of the research papers that I have been counting so far. Okay, fair enough. So in this second instance, what I have to do, I have to basically find out the H index. So what is H index? It is the maximum value of H such that given researcher has published at least H papers. So it means what we can do, we can simply add up the count of citations that we have. So let's start from the last index because we have to find out the maximum. So let's start from the last index. Okay, so what I will do, I will simply add my HI plus equal to count of I, and the point where my HI is greater than or equal to I, I'll simply return my I. Because why I'm starting it from the very last, reason being I have to basically find out the maximum index, the maximum H index. So I think I'm done with this question, and in case if you feel any query, in case if you didn't understood, then please do dry run this question and try solving it. So now let's move to the code part of this question. So let's get started. So I'm already given a vector of citations. I have computed the size of that vector, and then I will compute the, then I will basically store the frequencies of those citations, and then in order to find the H index, what I will do, I will simply add those frequencies in my H index, and I will check whether my H of I is greater than I, greater than or equal to I will simply return it, and if not, I will return 0. So now let's run this code. It works fine. Now let's submit it. Okay, great. So now let's analyze the time complexity of the code. So the time complexity turns out to be big O of n. And now let's analyze the space complexity. It also turns out to be big O of n, because we are actually storing the count of frequencies in some another vector v. So I hope guys you have enjoyed this video, and if you have understood the question, please do hit the like and subscribe button. And if you felt that I have missed something, I should add something more, then please do mention it in the comment section. I'm happy to improve myself. And in case if you want to connect with me on topics other than this other than the DSC, please do refer the platforms that I've mentioned in the comment section, in the description of the video. So thanks guys for watching this video. Bye bye.